You should just repurpose your podcast to be reading old, embarrassing emails.
Honestly,
Kind of a great idea.
it's a good bit.
Reckless and the reckless and the
I was like, on the first day, I was like, you can be that guy. And she was like, what guy? And I was like, you do everything.
Yeah. Okay, welcome to Reckless and the Recluse. This is episode 9. Don't be confused. You think it's episode 6, but I'm Ashley Baca, and this is Judy Caps.
I'm Judy, and this is my
this-
friend,
Okay.
my guest of the day, Chelsea. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, well, it's more important how you are, not how I am.
So we have this podcast to talk about my recklessness and Judy's reclusiveness, and sometimes we have guests that can prove what kind of person we are, or maybe talk about whether they're an Ashley or a Judy. So Chelsea, give us a little 411.
Well, I think I'm definitely a recluse now.
Yeah.
But probably a recovering reckless person.
I think
Well,
same. And I think you probably knew me at my recklessness-ist.
Maybe.
Can we
I-
talk
Because I don't remember our friendship at all, and maybe that speaks to that. I'm not sure. Also,
Yeah,
it's been a
I
while.
remember very, very little.
Okay. Well, I don't know what that says about me, but so we went to college together, and we we're friends, but we didn't hang out that much. I remember like a few times being at parties or whatever with you, right?
Yeah, I definitely remember at least 2 parties.
Okay. I don't even remember that much detail. 2 parties. I just remember parties in general. But so we haven't like spoken since college, really. Maybe like occasionally here and there, like on Instagram or whatever. But we follow each other on Instagram. It's one of those relationships where it's like, you people that you kind of know, and then you see them and stuff, but you don't really interact. And then so you randomly saw me in a movie once, right? And then you DM'd me on Instagram like, are you in this movie?
Yeah, I DM'd you mid-watch because I have been a longtime lover of the franchise Hell House LLC.
I didn't know it was popular. All right.
There was a third one. So put it on. It was probably a Friday night. So definitely
Had to
like a drinking franchise. And we're watching it. And then you were on it. And I was like, oh my God, I know him.
Did you recognize me immediately?
Yeah, pretty much. I think you look exactly the same.
Okay.
Except you used to be blonde.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orange, but yeah.
Yeah, but you look,
You're blonde?
I was blonde for a long time. Yeah.
That's very reckless. Okay, keep going.
Mhm.
yeah, you look exactly the same. So I recognized you immediately. And then here we are. So, and then I recently watched your newest flick.
And then you were like, so I watched these movies, and then you sent me a message like, what happened between you being some random guy that I went to college with, and now you're just in these movies? And I was like, I will tell you, but you have to come on the podcast to find out. And that's kind of what brought you here, right?
Yes, because I have like sort of like a line of who you were in college, and then sort of understand like some things you're involved in. Like I know you're in a band, which I still follow on Instagram, I think. And my friend Perry, who I think we had
Perry
spoken-
Shao.
Yeah, I think we had spoken to each other about that once, to be like, oh, this guy.
Okay.
So all this
right.
like kind of started being put together. But from what I like had an idea of in college, I thought you were going to be a doctor. And like, I have such a strong memory of like you being in school for something that I was like, that's so far from my brain. Like, I don't know anything about biology. And then I remembered that you got a master's in health stuff. So again, like,
yep,
big money making thing.
Nope.
And now you're in a Hell House LLC 3.
I get that it doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me, but I get how that would be weird, like from the outside, like not ever being close and like knowing each other well and just being like, wait, this dude made some bad decisions potentially, or just like a big left turn. And now he's just like,
yeah, you made a hard left.
Hard left into some fucking low budget horror movies.
Okay, well, let's talk about it. So how'd you take that left turn? Since you have a master's in health, we know that.
Public health.
I mean, yeah, public health. Health stuff was actually how Chelsea put it, and that's true. That's what we called it in the Ivy League. It's called health stuff. But I don't know. I've always been straddling a line between like science and entertainment. And I literally like would take off semesters in grad school to go on tour with my band. Like it didn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It was good for the band, not good for the grad school, I guess. But it wasn't really great for either one. You kind of have to go all in on one or the other. And I made the decision after I graduated to move to Los Angeles and pursue nonsense.
So you went to grad school, which I'm assuming you invested in it to some degree.
Time, money,
yeah,
dignity.
And
yep.
then, was it like the moment that you graduated that you were like, no more of this?
Mm-hmm. So in the same month, I think I graduated and my band broke up, and I was like, well, I have no real direction. Time to dive into this other thing that I like.
Wait,
Joking around.
Like you don't love
Fucking
it?
around. What?
You don't love acting?
I guess what I meant was comedy, but I do love comedy. Do I love acting? Usually, not always.
Okay, but you love comedy. All right.
Yeah.
I was
mean,
like, if you like it, just give up now. What a waste of your time. So difficult.
I mean, you know what it's like to fucking sit around on a movie set or any kind of set.
No, I
and
mean,
just,
I completely get that. But what I'm saying is that like, it's so hard to pursue. If you don't love it, do something else. That's all I said. That's what I was saying.
Right.
But you love comedy, so you're doing the right thing.
Right.
Because they're all, in it of one,
Well, so Chelsea, you watched Curse of Aurora, and when people tell me they watched it, and I know it's a horror movie, but I'm always like, did you laugh? Did you laugh? Was it funny? Like, that's all I care about. Because like a lot of it.
I'm sorry, you definitely brought the humor to it, I thought.
A lot of that, like the little lines were improvised. Like, it was all scripted, but it was also like, we got to
You're
fuck
telling
around.
me it was scripted?
Okay, I'm aging myself because I said
3 comedians here.
And I'm going to bring up something else. But remember in Friends when Joey said he wrote his own lines in Days of Our Lives and it gets written out? That's what's going to happen to you if you keep shitting on the writers.
I'm not shitting on the writers. First of all, it's a found footage movie. They want it to be natural. And second of all, I have a problem where I can't not say random shit. I'm like, can we just do one where I just say whatever I want? And they're like, no. I'm like, anyway. Well, so that's the story. So we've told the story. Wait, any questions about the story?
I mean, how horror movies? How Hell House LLC?
Oh. Well, that's a pretty simple story. I just saw a thing for it and sent in a tape and they were like, yeah. Not a lot to that.
Are you going to be like, is Scream Queen your forte now?
I mean, I hope I don't do another found footage horror movie, honestly. Like, I don't think it's would be a good career move for me, but I liked them. They were both good experiences, and yes, it's a simple story. They're both literally the same thing. It's like there's a thing online for a part. That's how it works. Casting site. I sent in a tape. They're like, yeah, come be in this movie. I'm like, okay. And I had to fly to both of them, which was fun and not fun,
Was it scary?
No. I mean, that place sucks. Like where the Hell House movies are filmed. You don't want to go in there. It's like dirty and cold, and that hotel, the franchise probably better than I do. That place.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Where is it though?
It's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
It's actually not far from here, so it was very convenient. I flew from LA, and I got to come home for like a week after the movie, so it was good.
Okay, so you went to LA to pursue acting, and then you flew home to pursue acting.
It was very funny. I was out there for like a month, and they were like, "Hey, do you want this part in the movie?" And I was like, "Nah, I guess I'll just go home for a while." But I mean, I worked on it, and then I went back. I mean, it was work. It brought me home. Good. It was good. It was perfect. And
so I keep interrupting. Do you have 2 homes then? Are you just bi-coastal?
That's what happens when you have a master's in health.
And yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I still have my place in LA. Place as in a room.
Okay.
In an apartment. Yeah. So Ashley and I have never met in person.
Really?
I don't know what her
legs look like.
Her bottom half looks like. You know what I was thinking about? I was talking to somebody on Zoom the other day at work, and she was like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, okay. She's like, I'm really short. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I was just like thinking that like for the last year, you've been living the life of a tall person, basically. Like on Zoom, you can be whoever you want. Live as a short person. Yeah. Like it's how liberating is that?
So we will look at each other in the eyes one day.
Am I taller than you?
1 inch.
You remember, I don't. Also, a lot of things. This is a big day. Wait, before I go any further, Chelsea, you're here. Any other questions about the story? I told you I'd tell the story. I want to make sure I cover it all.
I mean, I feel like I have a million questions about what it's like filming a found footage horror film, but
all right, I'll give you 2.
Maybe that's an offline conversation.
I'll give you 2. No, you get 2. Go ahead.
No, I already asked you if it's scary, and you said no, which is disappointing.
One more.
I don't know, because you already told me it's not scripted, or it is scripted, which, I mean, is Blair Witch scripted?
I'm sure. But so it's like, I'm going to call it loosely scripted. It's not like you have to hit the lines 100%.
But I think that's how Blair Witch was too. They probably just had an outline. And I think that's
what I mean.
They were at they were ahead of their time. That wouldn't work now. But when they did what they did, we all kind of were new to like, oh my God.
Well, they were the first.
Did you just think Curse of Aurora was just like, I mean, what do you think it was? I'm just curious. Like, how do you think it works?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, one, I thought it was pronounced Curse of Aurora.
Yep.
I guess I've always thought that found footage horror movies are, exactly that. Like they give you an outline and then you just wing it. Like you don't have any written lines. It's all just improv.
Huh. Okay. And do you think that each scene do you think you just do it like once, or how many times do you think we do each one?
I don't think I've ever thought that far into it.
Okay.
But I was very impressed that you were definitely the breakout star in that. You had like your scene, and I was like,
no spoilers.
Okay, no spoilers, but you really were. I was like, wow, he's making it.
Did you laugh?
At that one scene?
At any scene.
Wait, this is a horror movie and you're the comedic relief? Like what's going on?
Ashley, you got to understand, all I care about is laughing, is comedy. So like, yeah, I made a horror movie and I think it's like effective. I think it's like, I think it's kind of scary. It's hard for me to tell because I know what it actually was like. So it can't actually be scary to me watching it because I'm not thinking, I'm seeing it very differently than anybody else.
Yeah, you're seeing all the people that behind the camera.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, my friends are there. Or I wish I did this better or that. Like that's what I'm thinking when I'm seeing the movie. But I think the scares are effective for the most part. But every single person that has been like, oh, I just watched this. I'm like, did you laugh? Like any laughs? Because I don't know. I thought I had some good lines. That's all I'm saying.
So you're more invested in the laughs than the scares.
I didn't make the scares.
So you don't want to be a horror film guru, is what we're hearing.
I love horror films.
You do?
I do. I love horror movies. Yeah. I know you can't even.
Then you should be more concerned about making Chelsea scared than making her laugh. You love horror.
But here's the thing: I didn't have control over the scares. Okay, this is kind of where I'm coming from. I did my best, right? I did what was asked of me, and I think I did okay. But I improvised some lines that I think are funny. So I'm just like, did you laugh? So I feel like I had more control over that element, if that makes sense. Like it's more me.
And you asked, and as a comedian, you can only ask once, so you can ask again. Chelsea, since you're on this podcast, where do you live in Pennsylvania still?
No, I live in New Jersey.
Oh yeah,
I'm
he's
from New Jersey.
I forget about that. But you went to college, I thought. Where?
In New Jersey.
Oh.
Yes.
Sorry.
I also don't know your story, so yeah.
I hate when you like run into someone that you haven't seen in so many years and they're like, how have you been? And I'm like,
at what point?
Let me unpack 15 years for you. Because that's how long that I think the last time we spoke to each other was, I think I was still in college.
15
because
years ago, I was 2 years old.
Shut the fuck up.
15 years ago.
Or
Wait,
3.
So you got married as a teenager? That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's very Pennsylvania of you.
Sounds
This is
like
my
it.
second marriage, actually. So.
Well, you were never Judy when I knew you, unless that was
Right.
something I just didn't know about you.
No, you're right.
So I don't know how you became Judy.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's your chosen name now. I don't have any memory of how we became friends.
Mm. Well, if you had to guess, what do you think?
Probably through someone else at college.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like you were 1 year above me.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. We're not going to say what year, so we'll never know.
That's the secret.
Yeah. I went to college I was only, I think, 13 years old when I graduated. Very advanced. So.
That's why you could switch careers so
And that's
drastically.
how you know he's a Judy, because he cares about his age. But on from that. So you've been very reclusive during quarantine?
I've been very reclusive during quarantine. I have like maybe 2 friends that I see sometimes, but we don't go out to eat, or I pretty much only go to the grocery store or to the liquor store. I'm definitely reclusive during quarantine, but I did get my first vaccine. And still been very.
How did you do that?
Well, I work for a hospital system, so I got it through the healthcare phase. And then, but even so, I've still been very reclusive. And I think almost to a fault where now I'm like, I had friends ask me to go for a walk on the boardwalk. I live like near the beach. And I was like, I don't know. And I went and I had 2 masks and I was outside and everyone was very
hell
yeah, everyone's very masked and safe. You know, and there was no like indoor anything. I drove myself there. But even so, I was like, oh my God. But I think it's the social piece now where I'm like, I don't know how to interact anymore with people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sound like, yeah, I mean, yeah. You sound like a Judy.
As someone who has not been as reclusive as Judy, I still have gotten habits that is far from who I used to be before quarantine. Like yesterday, we hung out with people for like 4 hours and they were like, and now we're going to go out to eat and then we're going to watch a movie. And I was like, yeah, I'm going home. Because it's like too much social excitement. So
yeah,
I think
you can't do that.
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about COVID. I don't give a fuck. But
you just don't want to be friends with people.
I just, my social battery has lowered because I did spend those 2 months by myself, not by myself, but just staying home and only seeing 2 people, you know, or it's people who lived in my building. I guess I still was a little more social than the rest of the world, but less than I used to be. So there's an email something between you guys. Let's hear about that.
I'm not ready to reveal that. Okay.
Yeah,
we're still working on some stuff.
Oh, we're building up.
I'm building up. Okay. Today is the day that Dustin Diamond died. Okay.
So there is 2 things about the vaccine. My mom is a medical worker also, so she got both doses. She did get
she didn't.
sick for 3 days. She said no, and then she decided to. She just did. She did get sick for 3 days, but at least she didn't have any effects because they pulled it here because of people having allergic reactions. So it's going to be an interesting year to see what happens and see if we actually open.
Well, I get my 2nd dose on Thursday. So big week for me. My first podcast, completion of my vaccine.
That's fucking sick.
So
from
Monday, the first one, she was completely fine. And then the second one, she felt sick, which, you know, it's, I mean, that's whatever. That's
how
just
it goes.
That's the flu vaccine. You sometimes run out. Anyway.
It's called an immune response.
Yeah. You flex that, Masters. That's what I've heard about the 2nd dose. And I'm totally fine with feeling sick for a day. I would take feeling sick for a day to even 3 days over dying of coronavirus. So
or even living of coronavirus.
Yeah, or like passing coronavirus to my parents who I haven't seen in like, I don't even know when the last time I saw my parents. So I have it on Thursday and I'm already planning to like possibly not be able to work on Friday. And, you know, we'll just deal with it.
I think you'll be okay. I have a bunch, like some friends that have gotten it and they feel tired, but like people your age, whatever age that is, I mean, I think you'll be okay. Be a little fatigued and be good. My friend's a doctor and he got both of his doses and he said the second one, he was just like not at full capacity, but he was fine. That's it.
Yeah.
And then the next day, 100%.
I haven't been sick in like over a year because I've just been inside and like wearing a mask for a year. So I have had 0 illnesses. So like, sure, let me be sick for 2 days.
It's not sick, okay?
It's just reacting.
Yes, it's an immune response. It's not sick.
Let me immune respond for 2 days. I'll live with it.
Respond. Yeah. Fucking respond. What's this look you're giving me, Ashley?
Nothing.
Say whatever you're thinking.
So this is what I was going to say, but it wasn't what I was thinking. I read that people who are type O blood are less susceptible to viruses. Do you guys know anything about that?
I don't even know what my blood type is. Do you both?
Well, I'm a type O because I like to follow, but I am a little lax, but the blood type diet. I do believe that genetically, however our ancestors ate and like what is passed down to us is a lot of the reason that we have allergies or like a hard time digesting and that kind of stuff. Obviously just my personal thing. But I read a couple articles that stated that type O blood was the least susceptible to viruses. And I just found that interesting because I'm not saying it's factual or not. Just, I mean, I'd have to do more research, but I thought maybe you guys would know.
I want to know why they think that would be. Because like just what I know about viruses and what I know about blood types, I don't understand why it would have that effect. Being that blood type is essentially receptors on red blood cells, and viruses can attack any cell in any tissue of your body. So I want to know why.
Something hereditary, like something about the immune systems that we inherited.
I would believe that. I'll give some credence.
I can't speak to it either way. I have to know what the proposed mechanism is for me to have an opinion.
Okay. I just thought it would be interesting.
It's a good story.
I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm obviously don't know for sure. Just think it's interesting.
I hope that it is true since you're going to Miami.
Well, I've been to Vegas. I've been to Puerto Vallarta. I've been to Seattle. I've been to San Francisco. So that's probably the least of my worries. But yes.
All over the last year?
All since July. Because I locked down March, April, May completely. And then, so since July.
Man, I am jealous.
I'm not.
I mean, I wish that I was just like, I'll travel. I think I don't know if this is true, but I feel like the pandemic is especially difficult for people that may already struggle with anxiety, just generally anxiety, because I'm like, oh my God, I saw my friend outside around a fire, totally social distance. I'm going to die now. I have crazy anxiety. But then I know other people that are like, I'm fine. I'm taking precautions. It's fine.
Well, I definitely think after those first 3 months that it was really hard to kind of think you were going to be okay. Like you weren't sure, even though you knew, even at that point, there was studies, and especially in younger people, they weren't dropping dead and whatever. So it still felt some kind of way. But now I'm obviously on the opposite side of it. I'm not convincing anybody. I'm just living my life. And if I felt differently about it, I would stay home. And if I lived where I did have to see my parents or something, I definitely would be different, or grandparents or something. But I live far away, so here I am.
So you're willing to put,
I don't associate
people's grandparents that are, your neighbor's grandparents. They're fuck that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck them. I agree.
And I do. Yeah, exactly. I don't give a fuck. I don't see elderly people in LA, and I'm not really it is a small circle of people that
because you can't be elderly in LA, man.
Well, they are saying,
facelifts.
I feel like in coronavirus, it's so hard to make COVID funny, right? And I know, so I feel bad continuing to bring it up, but I know that it's
what everybody wants to hear about, for sure.
Yeah, everyone wants to talk about it all day long. They are saying that this wave of it, younger people are the people that are really getting hit hard from it. So I know that's
definitely us being young, super young. I think I'm at a great risk.
Young meaning 40 and below.
Yeah. Well,
that's definitely us.
That's definitely us for a while.
Actually, before I came on, I asked Judy, what are you going to do about Ashley finding out your age? Because now it's so easy to now. And he said,
I was like, why would that? I was like, why would it come up though?
But why does he think I don't know? I could probably say
it's just it's an ongoing bit. I don't care. It's a thing. I'm never going to tell you. You're never going to hear it from me.
Yeah, right.
Although I don't really know how old you are either.
I don't know how old I am either. It's fine. Nobody actually knows.
A range. Okay, We got into the deep stuff. We talked about some stuff that makes everybody irritated, and the reason that I probably get thumbs down on this podcast. So now let's talk about the emails.
All right. So, a couple of shout outs today. Today is Pauly Shore's birthday, and I saw that Chelsea, you had a photo with Pauly Shore. I looked on your Instagram today to see just to get some ideas.
You did your research.
I mean, briefly, I was like, wait, is that Pauly Shore? So I love Pauly Shore. Today's his birthday, and I used to see him at the gym every day. And I was just me and him in the steam room. I don't think I've ever told this story on this podcast, but I'll make it the super short version is just the two of us in a steam room one day at the gym. And I'm only wearing a towel and he's fully clothed, bandana, hat, sneakers in a steam room. And I was just like, what's up, Pauly Shore? I was like, hey man, how you doing? And he was just like, he didn't want to talk at all. And he, once he realized that I knew who he was, he got out pretty quickly. And it was the funniest part, other than him being fully clothed in a steam room that no one is ever fully clothed in, is that he was wearing sneakers. And after he left, because it's a steam room and like condensation on the ground, there was like a dirt imprint of the bottom of his foot, like where he had been, his feet had been laying where he was sitting. It was just like, his feet were that dirty and it was that wet on the ground that it was just like a perfect Pauly Shore print in dirt on the ground. So.
Wow. Did you trace it out on some paper for a signature?
Yeah, I was only wearing a towel, but I did have paper and a pencil. So luckily I was able to do that. Yeah. I did an etching.
I'm genuinely surprised that he goes to a gym. Do you think that he only went
legs.
to the steam room?
No, he was on the Stairmaster exclusively.
I'm trying to imagine what his butt looks like, and I cannot.
He's got really hefty legs. I'll give him that. He's got short legs.
I met him at a horror convention, back to the horror piece.
Well, of course.
Yeah, and he was really tiny. I gave him a hug, and he was remarkably frail. So this was like maybe a year or two ago. So maybe he's beefed up since then, but very, very frail.
I think he's just at that age where he's starting to realize that like he needs to get his shit a little bit together. Probably, he's like, he kind of seems like he's a little partied out. I'll just put it that way. And he's like, well, I should probably, what?
You think I don't think he's stopped. I mean, maybe because of quarantine, but I used to see him at the Comedy Store all the time. And
I'm not saying he stopped. I'm saying he probably had a revelation like I should probably try a little bit so I don't die. One of those moments. I haven't had one yet. I'm still very young, but like I imagine when I hit middle age, that could happen.
You're a recluse. You're doing everything to live. You don't eat sugar.
I know.
Might as well be 200. So don't worry about that.
Also today, before we're going to get to the fucking emails, Ashley, don't worry. What? I said, we're going to get to the emails. Don't worry. Just hold your horses. Dustin Diamond died today.
Yeah.
And that's sad.
From Saved by the Bell.
I want to know, do you think his life came to a screeching halt? Or do you think it just moseyed to the finish line like a Lisa Turtle? What do you think?
Wow.
I
am Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell tolls.
It definitely came to a screeching halt because he was only diagnosed with cancer like a month ago.
Screech to the
end. So I would say in terms of being alive and not being alive, that was definitely a screeching halt.
Yeah. Happened probably pretty quick for him.
Answering Judy's question.
Probably that. Yes, thank you for taking the question literally. I appreciate that.
And you're going to be Lisa Turtling to your end because of all the no sugar that you're eating.
The no sugar that I am eating every day. Yes, I do eat a lot of no sugar. Okay. And she leaves. I was just about to get to your favorite part. Okay, so.
I'm ready.
All right, so I asked you what your email address was because I had to send you this invite for this Zoom link, right?
Okay.
So you send me your email and I'm typing it in and your old email address popped up. And I was like, have I emailed with Chelsea before? Like, I don't have any recollection of this. So I send you the Zoom invite, and then I go back into my Gmail and I, use the search function because I'm very young and I'm good at computers. And so I searched your email address, and I found that you and I had emailed over a decade ago. There was a few emails, but one of them stuck out to me.
Oh no.
So
I'm so nervous.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Don't worry. It's mostly just embarrassing for me, which is why I think it's okay to share. Apparently we have texted as well.
I don't remember that at all.
Unfortunately, no record of that because that's not how texting works. At least, pre-iPhone texting. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. I have a screenshot. I cut out the email addresses. I cut out the email addresses. Don't worry.
I'm ready.
I'm not going to share your personal information. I cut out the dates so no one can, trace back
your age.
Or my age. Yes. And okay, let's see here.
Am I going to get in trouble if I try to run for office ever?
No.
Okay.
And now we know that she might be a politician, but let's keep going.
Wait,
I have a collared shirt on.
Office?
Who knows? I'm young. I could.
Okay. Do you not want me to do this? We could take a step back here.
Now I have to know. I have to know.
We can cut it later, but we're here for it.
No, we're not cutting this. This is happening. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm about to share the screen. Chelsea, your email's up top. I'm going to ask you to read your email.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm going to refill some more wine.
I'm telling you, it's on me. You're going to be fine. But this is going to actually, you're going to learn that I used to be more of an Ashley. I was a reckless person. And that's when Chelsea knew me. Okay. That's what she thinks of me most likely. Okay. So what's going to happen is this is going to pop on the screen, and just go into it, Chelsea. I know that you're just don't think.
I'm deep breathing.
Just start reading. Okay. Just start reading.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Sure.
All right. Here we go. Is it very small?
It's very small.
Okay. I'll play this.
Oh God, I'm already embarrassed. I have to read this.
Just read it out loud. Don't read it ahead of time. Just go.
Hiya, Jordan.
Yeah.
I just wanted to tell you that you're probably going to have the biggest phone bill ever for texting me a zillion times from Slovakia. I don't even remember you being in Slovakia.
Oh my
God.
God.
I remember. But keep going. Do not stop.
I can't read this out loud.
That's why you have to. Yeah.
If you
Should
want
Ashley, do you want Ashley to be your part? Should you play? All right, Ashley, you play Chelsea. She can't do it. It's okay. I understand.
Okay.
Can you see it? Can you read it?
I just wanted to tell you that you're probably going to have the biggest phone bill ever for texting me like a zillion times from Slovakia. Yep. You are a lovely person, A. B, C, but you really shouldn't tell me you'll have sex with me and then tell me that you might one day. Okay, hold on. My screen is in the way. Drunk or not, it's fun and all, but let's go back. It's somewhat confusing for me because I would probably enjoy hanging out with you and making out and stuff. But if it's not in the cards, I like to know so I don't get my hopes up. Okay. Good. Yeah. So I hope you figure out how you're feeling about Emily and all, or that you have a super time with her or whatever. I don't really mind. I just think it's crucial to be straightforward. Okay, keep going. Move on the other side. You can make it smaller.
Make it smaller?
There. I am sure you are having a brilliant time in Eastern Europe. Be safe. Drink lots of booze for me. Tell me about the crazy shit you do. Okay, bye. Chelsea.
Wow.
We got jerk response.
Oh my God. I can't believe you said that. That's not the embarrassing part.
It's totally me. What are you talking about? You wrote like a pretty normal,
Honestly,
like.
Okay, before we read Judy Jordan's part back to you, you are a pinnacle for how women should be.
Yeah.
Because.
Thank you.
No, because women are always out there being like the cool girl, right? And you're like, bitch, this is how it is. And if you want me, tell me. And if you don't, you don't. And that's probably why maybe you're in a happy relationship, or maybe you get exactly what you want because you say exactly what you want. So you should be proud of this.
I agree. And I'm surprised that you even wanted to keep like being friends with me. But
also, can I just add, like, I don't know what year this is, but if it's 2006, it makes so much sense because I have like the written out heart emoji, Chelsea. It's all lower caps. It's just the most like mid 2000s email vocabulary and messaging I've ever seen.
Okay, bye. Yeah, that's there.
Everybody, I had a friend who had a 2000. I mean, her license plate said "bye" in 2006. So
bye. Yeah, no, I think I wish I knew what the fuck I was. I used to fucking I was the dumbest. Like, I would get drunk and text people. That's what I did for like so long. Now I don't get drunk or text people. I do neither one of those things ever. But I used to do that a lot. And do you have any recollection of this?
No. I probably would have said, no, I'm not going.
No, you what?
I'm not coming on your podcast.
Oh, you don't want, we can cut this out. I don't want to embarrass you.
Leave it. I've got no regrets.
Oh, now I feel bad.
No, don't. You got to read your part.
Cut it out.
But you have to read it in your tone of voice.
He also called you dude. Okay, let's go. You want me to read Jordan's part too?
No, I can read my part.
Just kidding.
Read it as Jordy Caps from this year, though.
I'm sure I'm incredibly embarrassed at this point, like mortified, especially because you're basically like, what the fuck? You're calling me out, right? I did some stupid shit and you're like, what are you doing? Get your shit together, figure it out. That's basically where we're at. And I'm sure that I'm mortified. I don't care anymore because I'm not like this, but I used to be. And I sent some dumb texts in my life, but here we go. Dude, I'm sorry. I'm a ridiculous person. I get a little crazy sometimes. Here it is, while I'm straight and sober and all. I do think we should hang out right soon after I get home, but we'll definitely not bone. I can't do it. And you already knew that. I like you though. I'm sure we will have fun together in the future. Talk to you soon, Jordy Caps.
Wow.
Did you respond to that?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. She left you on red after that. Thank God.
Wow. I don't remember any of this or texting. I remember messaging.
There's no reception. How old were you then? If it was 2006. Well, I guess now I guess you better not tell me. But was this young or?
Well, I started going to that college my sophomore year of college.
Okay.
So it was definitely in the back 3 years.
Young.
I was probably 21.
Yeah.
20 or 21.
So there you go. Young.
Yeah, because when did you go to Slovakia?
When I was 20 or 21.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, I've been to Slovakia a bunch of times, but I know what trip that was.
Well, you did not disappoint. That was really something else. I do appreciate how like conscientious of my feelings you are during this, being like, is this okay?
I'm a nice person. Okay. I'm a nice person. I don't want to, you're the guest here. We can embarrass me. That's fine. We can embarrass me forever. I'm not going to bring somebody on and embarrass them, which I've done. and now I feel bad.
No, I mean, I feel like I said, I feel like my entire 20s were embarrassing. So,
but I really don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about there, other than like, yeah, you know, spelled things funny, but who cares? Everyone did. I think you played it right, and I was a fuck ass. From Slovakia. I could have been texting Slovak girls.
Yeah. You must have had a really big phone bill. What were you doing?
What was I doing? I don't know. I was drunk, and that was the idea that I had, I guess.
I do remember the girl you were dating. I remember the girl you were dating, and then there was one guy that you were really close with. You had a friend, and I remember him, but I don't remember his name at all.
Oh, my roommate, Jason, yeah.
Yeah, he was like tall.
Still is, yeah.
Do you still stay in touch?
Yeah.
That's nice.
He's one of my best friends. We grew up together.
Wow, I guess I just got left in the dust.
So
Send them
email.
Yeah.
You were dating somebody when you
I think we were not on.
Who's Emily? Oh, so you guys were on and off.
We
Can
were
we
on and
get
off for a
Emily on
while.
the podcast next week, or
She will not come on this podcast. No, I have not spoken to her. The last thing I heard from her was, please never talk to me again, in an email. Should I find that email too?
Why also you just email? Oh, you were in Slovakia. Okay, I'll give that up. I'll let that go.
No, this was later.
But if you were here and emailing girls, I feel like you were really.
No, I texted.
Boy,
She emailed me back. She emailed me.
I think
No,
email
but you're out of the country, so it's fine.
but I also think email back then was more of a thing. I think just generally like people emailed more.
Yeah, it was. Texting was not that paramount.
Yeah, I didn't have an iPhone. I had like the flip Verizon thing. No, I always wanted a sidekick, but I never had one. But it wasn't the same.
I guess during that time I had a razor.
I had
Nice.
a regular fucking singular wireless, whatever. No, yeah, I never had a flip. I didn't like the flips.
I love flips. I would have a flip now.
Yeah.
You
But
can.
I had an iPhone, and iPhone isn't making a flip iPhone. Probably will, but not yet.
What were our other emails about?
Yeah, is there more?
Not really. Okay. I think this is what it was.
That's the one.
But I think there's more context. I used to, when I was going on these trips, I would write these long like emails of everything that I was doing to like everyone I knew. Because that was a thing that you did back then too. Like I would go on these trips and then I would just have this long list of like all my friends, and I would just be like, hey, this is what I'm doing. These are the things that happen. And I think you were on that list, because then I got to reading all these old emails and remembering my crazy trips. But I think you maybe were responding to that because I had you on a mailing list, not like an unofficial mailing list, right?
So to your email out to like a whole bunch of people that was
You didn't
generic,
reply
this
all.
is how my trip is going. And I'm like, well, this is why you shouldn't be texting me this.
For the record, I agree that I should not have been texting you that. Okay.
But you were texting her also, so that was fine.
That's
I
very
think you
funny.
played it right. And
Wait.
Ashley, what do you think of the old me?
I
The
think
little
you
that you know.
sound like a normal 20-year-old guy. You're just
Yeah, we were
testing
little
it, just
babies.
trying to see what you can get away with. I'm sure you're not that bad of a person.
I'm not a bad person at all.
No, I know. I'm just saying the way you were like embarrassed, it's more just like, well, you're just a young guy. You're just trying to test limits. See what you could get away with. You hadn't found the girl that was the love of your life. You obviously did have a huge crush on Chelsea because you were far and still talking to her. So that's all it sounds like to me. Sounds like you're a fun time.
I don't even think we knew each other well. At all, if at all.
I do remember I
Well,
had this.
you thought she was hot, is what I'm saying. So if you guys didn't know each other, you thought she was hot.
I did have this picture from a party at your, I guess your dorm. Did you live in a dorm?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had a picture from a party for a really long time on my Facebook that was like at your dorm, I guess, and you were like dancing on a bed. And my friend, maybe it was my friend Juan that
Oh
put us
yeah.
in touch. Because he was there and it was like a room full of people and Juan was like on the floor. Someone was on the floor and I was picking them up and you were dancing on the bed and some weirdo was also there, like looking at one of the tattoos on my back. And it was really like, could have been a Renaissance painting. Are
we able to produce this photo?
No, I don't have Facebook anymore. They don't let me on.
So there's no way to get this photo. Okay.
That'd be cool.
All right.
No, I tried to unlock my Facebook like earlier in the last week. So if I ever do, I'll produce it.
And if we do have it, it's going right here. There it was. Excellent. All right. Well, can you speak to me being reckless at 20 years old at all? Or is that, you don't have to, but do we have anything else? Anything to mine from?
No, I don't remember anything about, well, now I'm just remembering Facebook messaging, but that's it. So
Okay.
no, I don't.
Do you remember what we said?
No, I think just chatting. I feel like I've always been a big chatter. I like to chat. So I think it was like just normal stuff. Yeah, but then no, I have literally no recollection other than 2 parties.
And we did not hang out after Slovakia either.
And you have even less memory of being my friend where I was like, do you remember who I am?
Do you remember who you are? I think I remember that one party you're talking about because I just remember that party. It was
at your dorm?
Uh-huh. And I remember you came, I was a fucking weirdo in college. I was like, me and my roommate were like the weirdos, I would say, of campus. So, like,
I don't know what that means.
So I had this idea that we were going to have a garage sale on the middle of campus, like a legit garage sale at like 7 a.m. And we put up flyers on like the trees in the neighborhood, but it was in the middle of campus, it was like a circular campus with a road around it. Like there's no random people on it. It's just students. And so we set up
from your garage sale.
Yeah. We set up like one of those folding tables and like sold knickknacks in front of the cafeteria. And we were just like, yard sale. And I remember, Chelsea, you came to that at least for one moment.
I don't remember that literally at all.
That's fine. I mean, it was a big moment for me having a yard sale in college, because I think maybe I'm the only person to ever have a yard sale on a college campus. So I feel pretty good about that. But yeah, I remember some people showed up, some people came out. I don't think you bought anything, but.
Wow. This whole conversation is making me realize how little of college I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and then I don't remember if we stopped talking before college ended or what. But I think you graduated before me, so probably then.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I feel like that was a different person, a different life. I feel like my life didn't even start until
Hell House LLC 3.
Till Hell House LLC 3, the Lake of Fire. Yeah. Fucking Lake of Fire. Yep. I feel like this episode was very me heavy, Ashley. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, now you're going to need to bring someone on that you sent an email to.
That's what we're doing.
You should just repurpose your podcast to be reading old, embarrassing emails.
Honestly,
kind of a great idea.
It's a good bit.
I guarantee you're going to get so many like subscribers. Hey, 1 million subs.
Oh, not only reading embarrassing emails, but you got her to come on and you didn't even tell her that.
I told her there was an email and I said it was embarrassing for me, which it was.
And it's funny because I told some of my friends, I was like, I think there's emails from 2006. And they were like, oh no, because they all knew me in 2006.
Wait, but why couldn't you find the email too?
Well, I have a different email address now.
So you don't have access to that other email address?
No, I don't know how to access that. I'm going to try after this because, yeah, I'm definitely going to try after this because it's all Gmail. And they were like, oh, it's probably like thirsty emails. Are you just going to sign off? And I was like, no, I'm going to stick it out.
Oh, so they were like, you shouldn't go on this podcast. They're going to make a fool out of you, Chelsea. Don't do it.
But I'm here. I did it. I'm brave.
I mean, you did great. I mean, you couldn't read it, which is hilarious, but we got it done.
Yeah.
Ashley played a great you.
I think I would have to do embarrassing text messages just because I don't think I did a lot of emailing.
So you never emailed?
You pull them out.
But how do you get text messages from 10 years ago?
I guess we can look at what the iCloud has.
Open up your fucking Cumulus. See how fucking nasty it is.
We can get my ex on here. I have an ex-husband, so I probably have more dirt than you guys.
That's right.
He won't come on. He hates me.
I mean, I also have an ex-husband and a current one. Yeah. I have an ex and a current. So I would have like endless embarrassing emails.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's like he is mad at me. And
sure.
That's the ex.
Well, because I'm the one who left, you know, and his new wife, he has a wife actually, is very jealous of me. She has no reason to not like me. So he's not allowed. So it'd be kind of funny. He wouldn't do it. She would get mad. She wouldn't let him.
You should ask her to come on and read them.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Can we get your replacement on here?
Yeah. I would love it. But
I would love that too. I would just sit back. I wouldn't have a lot to say.
Yeah, that would definitely be like
trend.
Better viewing than like Vanderpump Rules or 90 Day Fiance.
That one little part was not. Yeah.
All right, so we're going in a new direction, everyone. Anyone who's listening or watching.
You know what? What about it? Even with the new direction, the Reckless and the Recluse definitely fits this narrative.
Of course.
Because it tracks your transition from a reckless emailer to a forgetful recluse.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I brought you here to apologize that I don't remember our friendship.
She's had 2 husbands since you. She doesn't care.
I mean,
I'll take the apology though.
Oh, that's
there you
nice.
go. All right. Ashley, what else do you got? Let's
I'm just
get a
gonna
little
say
Ashley
that's the
time.
end of this episode, and we'll do 2 next week, so we can go Ashley heavy on the next episode. So thank you for watching in on Reckless and the Recluse. This is the most fun I've had so far. So thanks for joining us, Chelsea.
Thank you for having us, I guess.
Us? Wait, what?
Yeah, you and Judy. She's thanking me.
Oh, thanks. I'm just referring to myself in the plural.
Me and my emails. Thank you for having us on your podcast.
Me and my 2006 self.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on. It's been fun. I'm not embarrassed at all.
The way we got to get girls to start treating men, though. Like, no. We can't just be, playing along with their bullshit. Letting them text you when they're drunk. Talk dirty to me. There you go. Yeah. It's talk dirty or keep your emotions, in check.
Yeah.
All right.
That's encouraging. Thank you.